Aries, happy Aries season in Western. I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into this, I would like to set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I was seeing a P, and an R, the letters P, R. The Tower. Okay, so something going on unexpectedly. Maybe a lot of shifts that are happening as well. I'm seeing it almost like you're putting two and two together with something, and I'm seeing some type of surprise or something unexpected that you're realizing. And this may be the backbone for some type of really big shift or really big change that you're going to be experiencing, Aries. Maybe something you're experiencing right now. I'm seeing an eye. It's like you're opening your eyes to something that maybe wasn't making sense. It's almost like you had some sort of problem, something that you were trying to resolve or find the solution, and I'm seeing you like find the solution, and it's almost like your eyes get open to something that you hadn't seen before. Like you realize something, have some type of awakening, something like that, Aries. I'm hearing grand epiphany. And getting to this point definitely feels like some type of test that you've been going through. I'm seeing something that may have unraveled over time. I'm getting the image of, you know, those buckets that they have and the water fills into it, and once it fills up with so much water, the bucket like tips over completely. I'm seeing something like that happening. Yeah, for some of you, I'm seeing like some huge awakening that you're going through. I'm seeing some form of ascension here. It's like climbing the ladder to get somewhere. You may have even been trying to get connected in a certain way, and it's almost like before things weren't making sense or something wasn't clicking or something wasn't clear, and then all of a sudden something becomes very clear for you. Maybe even something that you couldn't see till you got to a certain point, but because you get to that point of like the water tipping over, it's like you finally are able to see something's cleared up for you, something like that. And now there's a new opportunity that you have. I'm seeing it like you pass the karmic test and then some type of opportunity opens up for you. But it's by way of you completing some sort of cycle that you needed to move through. So because you've done that, I'm seeing now you have some sort of opportunity. I'm seeing you getting very clear on a direction that you want to be going. I'm seeing something that you're doing independently. Also something that you have independently invited into your life as well. It's almost like you're realizing that it's something that you've been going through, like you're the only one that you have to credit for it, and I'm seeing you be really pleased with yourself with whatever this is. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing something like some form of awakening, something like that. I'm seeing you like transcending all of these karmic cycles. And maybe being able to, again, see something that you couldn't see before. It's like finally you have a type of clarity that you were hoping for. But it was like before you had been confused about this, but not anymore, I'm getting. It's like now you know where you're going, you have some sort of direction. Maybe you also felt like you were in some type of waiting period, like waiting for something to happen, waiting for pieces to fall into place, and now finally you're seeing that they are. Something may have happened as well where you were called to like speak out or communicate in some type of way, maybe set boundaries. Something going on with the air in your chart, I'm getting. It's like you were called to take action in some way. So something happened, you were called into action, and you knew that you needed to move away from something, like it was time, even though it could have been something that you completed or something that you had put time into, but you were recognizing that you wanted to like kind of keep growing or continue onward. And it was about like, do you want to stay stuck somewhere, or are you kind of like going with the flow of the universe and stepping into a new opportunity? And I'm seeing you doing that. And even though there is like definitely a bit of anxiety, but maybe a sense of like excitement and anxiety that you're feeling, it's about embracing this new opportunity that's being granted to you. And I'm seeing you go through some form of ascension as well, like looking around at what you've done, looking around at what you've created. And I'm seeing it be good with you that you're moving on from something. Like you feel like it's time, you feel like you're ready. And I'm seeing you also may have been waiting for some type of clarity about where exactly you wanted to be going next, something like that. And I'm seeing you receive that clarity. It's like maybe you felt stuck before because you were unsure about where exactly you wanted to go, and then something becomes very clear to you about that. Yeah, about what it is that you're building. I'm almost seeing it like you built something and it was very significant to you, and you may have had a hard time walking away from that and like expanding and stepping into like this new segment of your life, but now you're recognizing that you can build something just as wonderful. It's about like being brave and stepping into take action and building this thing that you want to build. We're ending with the Emperor here. I'm seeing a lot of Mars energy as we are in Aries season. I'm looking at the Tower over here. And those are the only major arcanas I'm looking at. Yeah, it's Aries and it's Mars here. So this is all Aries energy that I'm looking at. And definitely being called into action to do something, to put something down, to lay something out. Something that you've been creating for sure. I'm looking at the Magician on the bottom of the deck. This feels very inspiring, whatever it is. It's like finally you can get a move on. Maybe again you felt like you were waiting. There was definitely something that was worrying you that may have been like keeping your impulses at bay, but maybe in a way where you were feeling a bit more stagnant. So definitely some anxiety, something that we needed to manage. You also could have been having a hard time sleeping as well. I'm getting something like that. And maybe you were just feeling more tired. But I'm seeing you setting things straight. It's like I'm seeing you get to the bottom of what it was that was worrying you so you can move forward. Ah. Maybe we were having a hard time believing in ourselves. Maybe you felt like something you wanted to do, you weren't going to be effective with it, and that was really worrying you. It was almost like this thought that something wasn't going to work out, or that you, like, didn't have the ability to do something or pursue something you wanted to pursue, and it's like that was really nagging at you. I'm getting some type of feeling like that. Like, definitely a lot going on in the worry space. But it's almost like as soon as you recognize that, like, a frame of mind was what was holding you back, I'm seeing you, like, snap out of it so quickly and step back into action. It's like you're realizing that nothing externally was holding you back. It was just something going on in the thinking process. Yeah, definitely something that you were feeling, for sure. And it's like definitely something from the past that was holding you back. This can be like some type of program that you're releasing, like some type of way of thinking that you're recognizing was not helpful to you and where you wanted to be going, something that was keeping you stuck. It's like because of whatever this was that you kept thinking back to, it wasn't allowing you to move forward. But in that moment of recognizing what this was, I'm seeing you just be able to completely clear out all of this, and I'm seeing you then move forward. But there was definitely something that you've been working through, but I'm seeing you get to the end of what that was. Yeah, I'm seeing healing. Healing that you're doing when it comes to what you'd been worrying about, what had been affecting, like, your sleep, your schedule, whatever it was. And not that you need to have, like, a particular routine, but it's like whatever was going on, I'm seeing that it was disruptive to what you wanted to be accomplishing. It was disruptive to some part of your process. I'm seeing you move through that energy, not because you're bypassing, but because you got to the center of what that was, the catalyst of that, and I'm seeing you then move forward. So I'm definitely seeing a progressive type of energy here that we're moving with. It's like breaking free from something that had been holding you back. Yeah. I'm looking at you remembering who you are, Aries. Really prioritizing yourself here, prioritizing some sort of creative vision that you have, what you want to do, maybe balancing out things with finances as well. I'm seeing it almost be like you wake up and you realize that you're powerful and effective and that you want to be pursuing something and that you're going to do a good job with it because you're determined to. And I'm seeing you completely pursuing like some type of vision that you have. I'm hearing visionary, like some sort of creative thing that you want to be working on, something you're producing. I'm getting writing for some. This can be something involving art, creativity, creation. I'm getting something with design here, some type of design. I'm seeing metal. I'm seeing particularly like this kind of looks like it looks like a pendant or a necklace, something like that. You see the string, maybe a bracelet, jewelry. I keep hearing design, something you're designing. And this is like your type of artistic original vision that you have with whatever this is. So I'm almost seeing two sides of this. I'm seeing there be like you have kind of one foot in the past and one foot in the present, and I'm seeing there be something nostalgic that you may feel like it keeps pulling you back, but this is about like persisting in a way where you continue to break free from that. It's like by pulling like all of your energy out of the past and pulling it into the present where you are now. And that's what helps you pursue whatever vision this is that you have, because I'm seeing you bring something together that you wanted to be creating, something you wanted to make, something you wanted to express. I'm hearing company, I'm hearing partner, I'm hearing co-name. Maybe something that you co-own, or maybe you're co-creating something with someone. I keep hearing visionary as well. Okay, so there is a decision that we need to make. whatever decision this is that needs to be made, and I'm seeing that the more confident you feel in, this may be more than one decision, it's related to whatever dream or ideal this is that you have, whatever it is that you're creating, what it is that you're working on, this path that you're following, like what you're pursuing. You making decisions confidently is really what helps you move into a place where, like, overall you feel good about what you're creating, you feel good about where you stand, you feel like your ideas are working with what you want to be pursuing. You feel very fertile creatively. So this is about making empowered choices for yourself and not allowing yourself to get into a space where you feel like you're not going to be effective. It's about moving out of that space that holds you back and moving forward. So this is all about taking action and not being held back by the fear space. Nor the past too, because maybe something happened in the past and it was some sort of cause for belief that you wouldn't be able to do something effectively, but I'm seeing you get over that here. It's like, you know that it's something you needed to work on, something you needed to move past, and this is about you gaining confidence to pursue whatever this is that you want to be pursuing. And I'm seeing you have a lot of feelings for it, a lot of passion. Definitely as well part of your self-discovery, I'm hearing. And I'm seeing you totally in your element when you're creating what it is that you create. Yeah, I'm seeing the Ace of Swords here. It's like getting such a clear direction in where you're going, and understanding too that the more confidently you're making decisions, calling things out, doing things, the more clear your vision becomes as well. It's like the more you're able to promote what it is that you're working on too, I'm hearing. And I'm seeing something that had been like kind of keeping you stuck. I'm seeing you move beyond this. Maybe you're also recognizing as well. Yeah, you could have been waiting on something or someone, and you're recognizing that you don't even need that. I'm getting, because you could have been like holding yourself back, waiting on something, but something that wasn't coming through, and I'm seeing you just be like, nah, I'm gonna do it on my own. It's like recognizing that you don't need to rely on anyone else to make something happen, and that if things aren't falling into place, it's not meant to be, because whatever it is that you need is going to be available to you at the time that you need it. And I'm seeing you really put the faith in that. I'm getting a pain that's moving through on my left hand. It like starts around the wrist and it goes almost to my elbow. Make sure that you're stretching, especially if you're doing things that you need to be using your body for. Make sure that you're stretching in the ways that you need to, relaxing when you need to, giving yourself a break when you need to. Like you may recognize that you've been holding tension in your body in certain places, and that's why you're feeling sore. I'm getting that. Yeah, that was definitely something that I was channeling coming through, because I'm not feeling it at all anymore. Even like if you're at a computer too, like make sure that you take time to stretch, especially if you're doing like some type of repetitive movement. Like make sure that you're consciously relaxing your body so you're not so tense. Also make sure that you're hydrating, staying hydrated. Okay, so I'm looking at the 10 of Cups here. I'm hearing ecstatic about something. I'm seeing it almost be like something that you've produced, something that you've created. I'm seeing the like completion of whatever this is, and I'm seeing like this thing is just glowing. Like you're really so happy about whatever it is. Like you see how light is just like coming off of it. I'm seeing, again, it's like because we're looking at a 10, it means a completion and something that you feel super joyful about. It's like you have to take all of these steps, like you have to stack this on top of this in order to get to this place, in order to create it, in order to complete it. And I'm seeing you be so happy with the final product of what it is that you've been making. Yes. And I'm seeing you also feel like it's so much in line with like your abilities, your creativity, your passion. I'm hearing. I'm looking at the Ace of Cups. It's like completely in alignment with what it is you feel innately you want to be doing, like your innate talents. I'm hearing literary connection. Yeah, I'm seeing something that you've produced so brilliantly here, something you've used your innate abilities to be doing, something you wanted to explore, but something that took practicing. It's like even though you knew you had natural talent for this, it was something that took some time. But the end result, I'm seeing it be bigger than what you expected it to be. And I'm seeing definitely a feeling of, even though it took a lot of work, a lot of tenacity, a lot of restraint sometimes I'm hearing, and a lot of endurance, it was all worth it to you to be doing this. And it's like the final production is more than you could have even imagined. I'm seeing like something very brilliant that you've created here. And something that others recognize as well as being very brilliantly created. That's some beautiful energy, Aries. I'm hearing this is going to be magnificent. I'm hearing that specifically. I'm seeing that there were definitely outward distractions that that you needed to kind of maneuver yourself within in order to get to this place. But you knew it was necessary, and I'm seeing you do what is needed, especially when it comes to you expressing yourself. And maybe that was also part of this. Like, maybe before you did have a more difficult time expressing yourself when it came to the things that you feel more vulnerable about. But I'm seeing you step into a place pretty confidently now, where you're more comfortable expressing yourself. Especially when it comes to, like, these really deep emotions that you feel, too. Because maybe you were also catching that sometimes you get into a place where it's like with the superficial things, you had no issue talking about them or expressing yourself. But when it came to the things that you feel more vulnerable about, maybe some more difficulty, like being open and honest and like vulnerable when it came to like exposing that. But it's like, I'm seeing you like putting it all out there in a way here and feeling good about it, because whatever it is that you've created, I'm seeing it be so beautifully authentic to your energy. And I'm getting that this also ties into your self-care as well. I'm seeing there also be a sense of stability that you've gained within this process. It's like because you feel more authentically connected, I'm seeing you feel like so much more in your energy and so much more grounded overall because of this. It's almost like finding this productive way to be exerting a type of energy that you feel like kind of bubbles within you and something you need to express, produce, create. And because you're doing that, I'm seeing this also be part of like your self-care, the way that you want to express yourself. For some of you, this is also how you're going to be making money as well. I'm seeing it somehow affect your home, also your home life, routine, schedule, something like that. Daily living. And I'm seeing you've also gotten very creative as well with the way that you express yourself too. It's like there's so many different colors of language and ways that you can express yourself. And it makes it easier to get you where you want it to be going. I'm definitely seeing some stuff that you've been keeping at bay. I'm seeing it almost be like this. Because you decided to pursue something you wanted to pursue, it kind of helped you maybe even get out of a little bit of a funk that you'd been in. Like maybe you were feeling, I'm hearing writer's block. Maybe you were feeling like creatively you were experiencing a bit of a block, but I'm seeing you like pursue something nonetheless. It's like you needed to take some time to yourself to embrace what it was that you wanted to embrace. Like in order to conceptualize something, you may have needed some time, and you may have felt like that process was a bit daunting is what I'm hearing. But I'm seeing that like because you pulled through, it's almost like balancing out this sense of like whatever had been blocking you. Like I'm seeing you having worked through that, and I'm seeing that be a big part of your process as well. And I'm seeing something new that you've learned too. It's like because you're learning how to balance out maybe like the highs and the lows even that you experience. It's like one day I feel inspired, the next day I feel like I can't produce anything. It's like because you've like been working through that and moving with the ebbs and the flows, I'm seeing like it be even more like celebrated because of this thing that you've created. And I'm seeing like at the end point you feeling really good about this, about what it is that you did, what it is that you accomplished. And there could have been some interpersonal relationships as well that like were having some sort of effect on like your actual creative process. And I'm seeing you be able to move through that as well. Like I'm seeing something that you're managing here. And maybe you're also using those experiences of like the highs and the lows and whatever it is that you're going through to actually help channel that creatively into something that's going to be beneficial to you. So like healthfully integrating that into your life in a way where you feel like every experience is beneficial regardless of your feelings towards it, because you're taking all of it and you're using it to produce something that you want to create, and it's something that you feel like is benefiting you, elevating you, and maybe even touching those around you as well. I'm hearing Venus so strongly. I'm looking at Libra and I'm looking at Pisces. Neptune with the Hanged Man. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.